everybody, Milena here again for our weekly What's Up Wednesday interview session. Today we have a special guest named Dawn, so I will go ahead and let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about the organizations that she represents. So go ahead, Dawn, take it away.
Hi, my name is Dawn Alexander, and I have a consulting business called Colorado Childcare Consultations. I come into that work from a pretty good background in childcare. I raised my own kids in a licensed family childcare home. After that, I was a licensing specialist for a little over 3 years. And currently I work at the health department in Weld County to support home providers, FFNs, to become licensed providers. So that's kind of where I come from. And that's what's given me a passion to serve people in this system to make a difference.
Perfect. Yeah. We were chatting earlier. That's awesome. So what areas do you focus on right now in your consulting field?
So I primarily focus on any kind of systems building need that is out there. So I can certainly help the individual as far as getting licensed or any of those things. And we'll talk about my training later. But I'm currently working with ECPAC and also the State Family Child Care Association to build out certain projects that they're interested in. Every part of the system has the ability to specialize in something rather than be a beat-all, end-all to everybody, right? Yeah. It's too hard to recreate everything for everyone, everywhere. So working with ECPAC, it's nice to work with a council who has their priorities and their specific goals and to help them meet those in a creative way.
Perfect. So other than those organizations, kind of what demographic of professionals do you work with on a day-to-day basis?
So I definitely work with a lot of individuals and how to get connected and tied in and advocate for themselves or their area of concern in the industry. So I do that on a regular basis. And then also, like I mentioned, the councils or associations. So.
Okay. So other than licensing pieces, what kinds of things do you do to help prepare people for success?
So I really like to meet people where they're at. That's the only way to help someone move forward, right? You have to set aside your own goals, your own expectations, and really meet them exactly where they are and find out where they want to go. That's the only way we can do this. So that helps them to get to their desired outcomes, and that's what helps sustain people in the industry. We have so many people fall out because they just don't like the position or like licensed homes. They don't like the home that they ended up creating, right? Because they change their policies so frequently that they end up working in a program that they can't stand. So I like to empower people to help them find a way to be in this industry from a position of strength.
Yeah, that's awesome. We definitely relate to meeting providers where they're at with ELV standpoint of tech. We kind of take a broad spectrum of no tech at all experience to quite a few software. So yeah, we definitely understand where you're coming from with that. If there's one thing you could tell someone thinking about becoming licensed, what would that be?
Get creative, right? You don't have to do the cookie cutter mold for being licensed. This is your opportunity to create a business and to create one that looks like whatever it is you have in mind. So you can do evenings and weekends if you want. You can specialize as a specific provider for a specific large business in your community. You can do all preschool. There is certainly, if Proposition EE passes this November, we're going to have a huge demand for preschool providers. So you can do 5 days a week preschool in the mornings or whatever it is that you love doing. I encourage you to specialize in that and make it something that just serves your community well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of set their own schedule and make it work for them. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What is the most common stumbling block, you could say, that you see providers that you work with?
I do think that it comes down to their policies and procedures and giving way on that and saying yes to families more frequently than they do for their business. Mm-hmm. You set up those policies to begin with because they were what you needed to have your business run the way that it was most efficient and effective for you and for your family. And to compromise on that, you really have to run it through a filter and ask yourself, when a parent asks you to do something different than what you intended, does that work for your family? Because if the answer is no, then you cannot comply with that wish from the family.
Yep, for sure. So tell us a little bit about the courses that you offer right now.
So I have a pre-licensing class that was just approved by the state, and it's a little bit different from the other pre-licensing classes. We do it via Zoom, and I know that doesn't sound all that new and creative now, but when I first started, it was pre-COVID, and I was pretty excited about that. Now I'm like, great, everyone's doing Zoom. But really what we do in that class, right now I have it broken out primarily into 2 days, so 2 Saturdays. The first Saturday is all about business. It's your business essentials. And so we're going to talk about every step you need to take to become licensed and to maintain a healthy business, talk about licensing rules, regulations. We're going to stop in the class and get your federal employer ID number so that you don't have to give social security numbers out to your families. We're going to stop in the class, and if you're not registered for the PDIS, the professional development site, we're going to get you registered on that and ready to go for your classes. And also for homework between week 1 and week 2, you've got a week off in between because you actually have to develop your program policies and procedures as well as your contract in order to complete my class. So there will be no more of this licensing specialist showing up and saying, where are your policies? And they're like, what policies? Like, what do I do with my policies? So we're going to put an end to that and have everyone equipped exactly the way they need to be fully prepared for their inspection. Then day 2, we're going to do all the child development work. We're going to talk about ACEs. We're going to talk about ethics in the profession and really kindergarten readiness and what that looks like from the Colorado Department of Education perspective. So not from your curriculum or something you heard someone say or what you think kindergarten readiness is. We're going to really get into the tangible skills and what you need to know to have kids ready for kindergarten here in Colorado.
Awesome. So where can people find more information if they're interested in learning more about your training options?
So my website is cochildcareconsultations.com. They can go there, or you can give me a call at 720-862-6253. I also want to mention that with that pre-licensing course, if licensed providers want to take it or take day 1 or just day 2 and get 8 hours of credit for those, I can sign them up for the business essentials or for the kindergarten readiness side of things. So you can get credit for that, not labeled as a pre-licensing class, which would never work, of course. So.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anything we here at ELV can do to more assist you and support your work with the North Metro area and ECPAC organizations?
You know, we're getting ready to do our first class this weekend, and I've already had one person who's not able to sign up quite yet, but she was having some questions around policies and procedures. I was able to connect her with Michael already so that she can get access to the platform and all of the great resources that you have there. So she's going to have access to the policy and procedure examples and that sort of thing. And I'm just going to continue to direct everyone to that as I do the class. Because I love the fact that it's free for people up until 6 months after their doors open.
Right. Yeah, that's such a wonderful promo that we can keep running. Yeah, that's awesome. Right. So if there's any other kind of overall feedback or things you'd like to share out with the network or provide an update on, I'll kind of just give you the last little bit here. But otherwise, that's pretty much all I got.
So I just want to encourage you. I was a home provider and I sat in my home and tried to build networks and stuff. And it is a very isolating thing. And what I have to say to you is, regardless of where you are in this industry, you have the ability to have impact. So I want you to look at what are the things that you're passionate about. If it's suicide prevention, then get involved in suicide prevention and tie that into early childhood some way, somehow, by participating in advocacy groups, There are plenty of policy groups that are out there. If you want to find a way to get connected and make a difference for the children in Colorado and can't find it, call me. I'll help you get connected somewhere. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you, Dawn. We appreciate your time. Bye, everybody.
Sure.
Have a good day.
Have a great one. Bye.